On this episode of the podcast, I'm going to talk about elections because nobody's sick of them, flex moves, and epic rides. So let's get into it. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Valuku's Talking Podcast, episode 95. Right, 95. We're just five away from 100. Wow. How about that? Yeah. Anyway, everybody, so elections. Nobody's sick of elections, are they? But hey, look, now I'm recording, this is Tuesday, and you'll be listening to this on Friday, so things most likely would have changed by then. But anyway, on Saturday, or the 21st, we had an election. We had to go and vote to see if we wanted to keep Scomo on as PM or if we wanted Albo. So, actually, I voted early. I voted, I think, Thursday. So you can go and vote early, which, I did. And so I went and voted. And now, there is in my area, how it works is so you have each state has an electorate, or so has various electorates. So I think my state has 3, but the bigger states have like heaps. I think half of the electorates, right, are in New South Wales alone, but they have a lot. Anyway, so basically you have so many candidates in your electorate for the Senate, and you have so many for the House of Reps. So you get 2 ballots. So I think I had 9 candidates in the House of Representatives. So you can vote for 6. You have to at least vote for 6. I think I voted for all 9. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next to your preferred candidates, whatever else. So that's easy. And then you get the Senate ballot, which is huge, because it had. So the Senate, there's 2 different ways you can vote. You can vote for a party, or you can vote, as they say, below the line, which means you can vote for individual candidates. Now, if you vote for the party, I think there was 15 parties. You had to vote for, I think it was 6. But if you voted below the line, you had to pick at least 12, vote for at least 12 individual candidates. So what I did, because there's a particular candidate who's a Liberal, and they're quite conservative and have their Christian values, and they're I think they've been in Parliament since 94 or something. So it was time for them to go because they're too out of touch, really. So I thought to myself, I'm going to put them last on my ballot. But as a result, I had to come up with an elaborate plan. I had to come up with a plan on how I was going to get this person last on my ballot. Now, I think there was 40... was there 40 or 37 maybe candidates below the line? So I was like, well, this person's going last, so they were going 37th, 38th. So I then had to come up with a plan on how to make that happen. So some people, looking back on it, I was like, oh, it's tough when you have just somebody who's completely out of touch and off the show. If you're like, should I vote for them before some, absolute nut job? It's a hard choice. But by the looks, the plan has come off because I don't think this person's going to get elected. I think they've lost their seat. It's interesting, isn't it? You're voting somebody out of a job. That's interesting, isn't it? Anyway, so at this point, look, we have a new PM. However, we don't have a government, if that makes sense. So what has happened is, because I've no idea why, but there was a meeting, it was a quad meeting it's called, which was, I think it's actually today, so that's being Tuesday, but there's a meeting Tokyo with the Japanese Prime Minister, the Prime Minister of India, and President Biden. And I don't know why they were like, oh yeah, so let's have an election 2 days before this meeting is supposed to happen. So what happened was, we've had our vote, Scomo's done, Albo's the new PM. He was sworn in like Monday morning, and he's straight away over to the quad. But we actually don't have a government because Labor haven't won enough seats yet to form a majority. They need 76 seats. They have 74 at the moment. At least at time of recording, they might have. I think they're looking okay to get to 76. But if they don't, then they will have to broker a deal with the crossbench to see, so they can get supply with various things. But Albo had a presser Monday morning saying that he has had a talk with various people, and the Greens, I think, the Green Party, we'll back you, Labor, mainly because you're not the Liberals. So yeah, we have a new PM, but not a government, if that makes sense at this point. And also, some ministers, there was a few people sworn into ministerial positions. So, for example, Penny Wong, she is the foreign minister. She was the shadow foreign minister. She was sworn in as the foreign minister yesterday. So she's gone with Albo to the quad. But I think Jim Chalmers sworn in as treasurer, and what's his name, Richard, an old mate Richard, sworn in as deputy PM. And somebody was sworn in as the Attorney General, but apart from that, other cabinet positions are unknown at this point. So I think Albo said next week we're going to, hopefully after votes and things are counted, we will actually have a government in regards to everybody having a portfolio, and they will start the process of changing governments. But anyway, look, we've got a new govy. Basically, nobody, the Liberals were given the arse. Categorically, they lost a heap of seats. And, heap of independents picked up a heap too. But anyway, so we've got a new PM, Albo, but at this point, at least Tuesday, no govy. But anyway, look, that's enough about the elections and politics and all that crap. Let's move on. So the other day, I was at my ENT guy, so this ear, nose and throat doctor, and I noticed up on his wall, now this is not uncommon, right, but up on his wall, he had his various diplomas and things up on there, his doctorates, I guess you would call them. Now, I thought to myself, and you see this sometimes, you might go to a doctor's surgery, go to their private rooms, and they have their diplomas, etc. on the wall. Now, is this a flex move? Is this just they've put that up there so you are reminded that they have a doctorate? You are reminded that they are a doctor, right? So interesting, you go, and it's just, I guess the thing, but I suppose once you have a doctorate, what do you do with it? I guess you hang it on the wall, but, may as well hang it in your office, I guess, but, is it a flex move? Is it it's just there to remind you, yeah, I'm more educated than you, at least in the realms of ears, nose, and throat stuff. I guess if I had an office, I would possibly have my diploma on the wall in it, but I don't know. Is that a flex move now? Is anybody out there listening? Somebody who is listening, quite possibly listening to this, if they may have some sort of finance degree or something, do they have that hanging in their office? If you're listening, you know who you are. You know who you are. Do you have your finance diploma hanging in your office? Somebody I know has a law degree. Do they have that hanging up somewhere? Do they have an office, and do they have that hanging up? I don't know what they're doing these days. I don't think they're lawyering, but anyway, at their current job, do they have it there? There's another thing. If you do a degree, let's say I had a doctorate in chemistry, but I'm not a chemist, would I still, could I hang that still in an office? Let's say I was a chemist or had a doctorate in chemistry, but I was actually a I don't know. What's a job where I would need an office? A sales representative for a major tech company. Would I have my chemistry degree hanging in my office? Is that like not okay? I don't know. So can you hang? So for starters, questions to your listener. If you have a degree or something, qualification, do you have it hanging in your office? And also, if you have a qualification for a job you don't have, say, for example, you have the law degree but you're not a lawyer, do you still have your law degree hanging in your office? Assuming you have an office in whatever job you're doing? Or what? I don't know. Anyway, everybody, let's... hey, let me know. Anyway, let's move on to the last story. So on Sunday just gone, I did an epic bicycle ride. I did my longest bike ride. Now, last episode I talked about I was trying to ride 650Ks for this month for CF, and I think one of my goals, at least it was, did I mention it? I don't know, but was to improve my longest ride, or do my longest ever ride. My longest ever ride being 113 kilometres. Now, on Sunday, I did a 150 kilometre ride by myself. Actually, I think I did 154 by myself. It took me, so I left home at about 9, sort of 8:45, and I got home, I think it was about, not quite 4:30. So it took me, how many hours that is? 6. It took me nearly all day. Now, it was, some bits were tough, like, well, physically, but also it was a bit more mental. I got to a particular point, I had to ride between two towns, and I had to come along an old highway, and it was about 100 k's in, and that bit was a bit rough. That was like, a breaking point might be a bit dramatic, but that was a bit rough. But when I got to the second town, I went and had a Coke. I got myself a can of Coke and a fruit bun. Had that, and I was all right. But it was a little bit tough at times. But I had a little bit of a plan. So I broke it down. And also I've got myself a Post-it, so a sticky note, and I wrote down some things on it, like every 15 kilometres, have a drink. Every 30 k's, make sure I have something to eat, which was good. So that helped me because I could tick off those sort of milestones. Probably isn't a word, but I could tick those things off. And also in regards to milestones, I went through all the little small towns and things. So as I went through them, I sort of ticked them off as I was going along. So that was, that was good. It'd be interesting actually, maybe even to do the route backwards. But I don't think I'll be doing a ride that long for a while. If I do a ride again that long, I think I will be wanting to do it with somebody else. And not by myself. I think having somebody else to deal with would be quite good. I do have a friend that rides, but they don't ride as much as they used to. So it'd be interesting if I was like, "Hey, want to do this ride?" 150 k's. If I'd actually, if they themselves would be able to do it, like physically hitting this. I need to get myself a new boom, which doesn't have these hideous springs on the outside, so I can hit it and it's not going to go. Pew. Anyway. Everybody, huge milestone. But anyway, let's wrap it up. Well, everybody, that is it for me. That is it for this episode of the Luke Who's Talking podcast. If you want to get in touch, email me at lukewho'stalking@gmail.com. And we are on the Twitters at L_who's talking. So, thanks for listening, everybody. And also, here's a little bit of something for you. When I was out doing my ride, I recorded some bits, so that will be a video for the vlog next week. So if you watched the vlog also, Luke is vlogging YouTube, there'll be another bike video up for you. So, yeah, if you can, watch it. If you don't want to, hey, don't. Thanks for listening to the podcast. If you liked it, thanks. If you didn't, I mean, what's it cost you? This is costing me, right? All it is costing you 15 minutes in your time. It's costing me money to do this. So, how dare you? How dare you judge this free content you're getting? Anyway, if your computer's gone to sleep, I also wouldn't mind a nap. Anyway, everybody, that is it for me. And thank you. And I'll catch you next time. Bye.